Coming up on 5 Minute News. Belarus forces airline to land and arrests opponent. Italian cable car plunges to the ground, killing at least 14. And Israel-Hamas ceasefire holds, UN to launch Gaza aid appeal. It's Monday, May 24. I'm Anthony Davis. Belarusian authorities scrambled a fighter jet and flagged what turned out to be a false bomb alert to force a Ryanair plane to land on Sunday, and then detained an opposition-minded journalist who was on board, drawing condemnation from Europe and the United States. In what was described by some EU leaders as a hijacking, the passenger plane flying from Athens to Lithuania was suddenly diverted to Minsk, the capital of Belarus, escorted there by a Soviet-era MiG-29 fighter jet. On its landing, authorities took journalist Roman Protasevich into custody. Protasevich had his head in his hands and was shaking when he realized the flight was headed for Minsk, Lithuania's Delphi news outlet said, quoting a passenger. Later, as he was led away, according to the report, he remarked, "I'll get the death penalty here." The 26-year-old journalist worked for Poland-based online news service Nexta, which broadcast footage of mass protests against Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko last year via the Telegram messenger app, at a time when it was hard for foreign media to do so. Protasevich, who now works for a different Telegram channel called Belamova, is wanted in Belarus on extremism charges and stands accused of organizing mass riots and of inciting social hatred, allegations he denies. Data showed the plane was diverted just 2 minutes before it was due to cross into Lithuanian airspace. U.S. Foreign Relations Committee Chairman Bob Menendez issued a statement with the heads of 7 European parliamentary foreign affairs panels, denouncing the forced landing as an act of piracy. They called for a ban on all overflights of Belarus, including to and from the country, and for NATO and EU states to impose sanctions and suspend Belarus's ability to use Interpol. The US demanded a full investigation of an action they said endangered the lives of the passengers, including US citizens. A cable car taking visitors to a mountaintop view of some of northern Italy's most picturesque lakes plummeted to the ground on Sunday and then tumbled down a slope, killing 14 people. The lone survivor, a young child, was hospitalized in a serious condition with broken bones, authorities said. 6 of the dead were Israeli citizens, including a family of 4 who lived in Italy, the Israeli Foreign Ministry said. The mayor of Stresa, where the incident occurred, said it appeared that the cable broke, sending the car careening until it hit a pylon and then fell to the ground. At that point, the car overturned 2 or 3 times before hitting some trees, said Mayor Marcella Severino. Some of those who died were thrown from the cabin. The Italian government announced a commission to investigate the disaster, which is likely to renew questions about the quality and safety of Italy's transport infrastructure. Images from the site showed the crumpled car in a clearing of a thick patch of pine trees near the summit of the Motoroni Peak, overlooking Lake Maggiore. The car was believed to have fallen around 50 feet, according to Italian media. By Sunday evening, the death toll had risen to 14 dead and 1 of 2 children taken to Turin's Regina Margherita Children's Hospital died. The other young child, who arrived at the hospital conscious, remained in a serious condition, authorities said. Milan noted that the cable line had been renovated in 2016 and had only recently reopened after the coronavirus lockdown in Italy curtailed travel and forced the suspension of many leisure activities. Milan suggested many families may have flocked to the mountain on a sunny Sunday after months of restrictions. A ceasefire between Israel and Hamas held into a 3rd day on Sunday as mediators spoke to all sides about extending the period of calm after the worst outbreak of fighting in years. Egyptian mediators have been shuttling between Israel and the Gaza Strip, which is ruled by Hamas, to try to sustain the ceasefire, and have also met the Islamist group's rival, Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, in the occupied West Bank. Egypt's foreign minister was also set to meet with top Jordanian officials on Sunday to discuss de-escalation and ways to revive the Middle East peace process. Lynn Hastings, the United Nations humanitarian coordinator for the Palestinian territories, said on Sunday the UN would launch an appeal to repair the damage in densely populated Gaza, where there is a threat of COVID-19 spreading. US President Joe Biden has said Washington will work with UN agencies on expediting humanitarian aid for Gaza in a manner that does not permit Hamas to simply restock its military arsenal. His top diplomat, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken, in televised interviews on Sunday, said that while the Biden administration was now focused on aid, reconstruction, and diplomacy, and an end to violence could help shift gears toward long-term peace. You can subscribe to 5 Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5 Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Subscribe, rate and review online at 5minute.news. 5 Minute News is an Evergreen Podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily.